Welcome back to another episode of Mental Health Monday. Here with my boy Cortez. What up, Gin Papi?
What's going on, gang?
I am coolin', man. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. Still black, still beautiful. Can't complain. You know the vibe.
Okay. Tell me a bit about the brand that you've built, man. It's built on gin.
The brand that I've built, Gin Papi. It just starts like, just living my little life, just being out in the streets. I started off as brunch Papi because I'm always outside trying to get some bottomless mimosas. Used to drink JMO, be in the streets, real rock star shit, whiskey, bourbon, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Then, just one day, I just switched to gin and just became just deep in it. Like, obviously everybody starts like your Seagrams and your Bombays and your Hendrix. And I started the podcast, the Gin Papi podcast, which made me like really start looking at different types of gins. A couple of my friends working in like distilleries, and they would try to put me on. Like a lot of my friends are in the service industry, bars, etc. So I would like come in, people like, oh, you want to try this gin? Like, sure. And then that I just started getting deeper and deeper into it. So like barrel aged gin, like if you just like brown, you can still get brown gin, clear gin, purple gin, orange gin. Like I have become like the gin guy.
Between these, like, is there like a certain palate flavor that comes with, like, let's say barrel aged gin?
Yeah. So of course, whiskey and all those things like that, they put it all in the barrel. That's why it comes out brown. So it sits there. That's how it ferments. That's how you really get it to give it that brown. So for whatever reason, I guess just to give it color, people would do the same thing with gin. So usually people pick a side when they start to drink. When you become an adult, you go clear, you go brown.
I am
like,
clear, I am brown.
Yeah, and then like the deeper you get
strong.
into it, you kind of realize that like if you can do brown and still have like a clear drink if you want. So it's like that. And yes, of course, like depending on the botanicals and stuff that they put in it, that's how it'll change in the flavor and like how rough it is.
Can you give an example of a botanical?
Well, like all of them have like juniper berries in it. So, and it also has like these greens. That's why if you ever drink gin, it kind of tastes a little leafy.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. It's the berries and the leaves in it that kind of give it that taste. But gin, in my experience and me talking to people, like people say they don't know how I drink gin because it's so rough. If you just put gin on ice or gin with like tonic or Sprite, which are usually people will do, it is a little rough. But if you actually like cocktail it, like if you have somebody who knows how to make a cocktail, gin is probably the best thing to make a cocktail with. It's easily maskable when you put a whole bunch of things to make like a nice drink. But if you just at the dive bar just trying to get it cracking, it's gonna get a little rough. It's gonna be a little harsh. But I've been doing it for so long, like now it's second nature. So it just kind of became my thing. And then, like I said, when I started the podcast, I just started trying to bring new gins to the podcast for like people that were coming up. And then it just got me deeper into like, oh, I've got this one, I've got this gin. And I just happened to have like a really nice liquor store that was like right down the street. They would like bring in new gins all the time. So I'll walk in, they'd be like, hey, we got this new thing, we got this new one, we got this new one. So I'll be able to try different stuff. And that's kind of how I got to see the different tastes and like what's in it and which ones I could really make a drink with, and which ones like you can put this one on the rocks. Some of them are very dangerous. You cannot just drink this by itself. Other ones you can really shake it up. So yeah.
Did you ever build relationships with folks through this whole process?
Through that process, I didn't. I was originally, it was just kind of, I just like gin, so this is what we're gonna do. Yeah. And the more I got into it, as the podcast went, it was just kind of like, okay, no, I really do like gin, and it's a really cute name, but now like I'm really in my bag. Yeah. So, I built one relationship with a distiller that gave me a few things to try. They gave me like, oh, if you want to order from us, we'll give you off, so that way we can keep it pushing. But not really like brand deals as much. But yeah, I got a chance to really get into like my gin bag in the pandemic. Okay. So it was fun. It was cool.
All right.